That's where we're going next with Kevin O'Leary, O'Leary Ventures Chairman, and Anthony Pompliano, Professional Capital Management Founder and CEO. Great to have both of you here on set today on such a big day. Kevin, I want to start with you. I sort of walked through the classic Trump trade 2.0. As an investor, how do you think about days like today and a future president?
Most of the moves you're seeing, including in Bitcoin, is around lifting of the regulatory weight that's been put on in the previous administration. About $1 trillion be pulled out of this. And so this will be very good for every sector, including energy. We just detailed that. But crypto specifically, it started to happen just before 1 o'clock in the morning. It trades 24/7. It's an index for a regulated environment for financial services in the U.S., which will bring in a huge amount of institutional capital here. Pomp and I have been involved in this sector for years and years. And you know, before he even gets into it, I was against Bitcoin years ago, and the first debate I ever had was with him on it. I've reversed my position, obviously, and for a good reason. But what this means, and let me give you some of the rumor mill going on this morning. The CFTC is going to take a bigger role in regulating all tokenization and digital payment systems. They're looking for a new master of disaster there, if you want to call it that, someone to take on the role of that. It won't be so much SEC focused. And so we're very excited about that in the crypto industry. But for me, it's digital payment systems. What a great place to invest. So I have put money to work in Circle, USDC, and other infrastructure investments. It's fantastic.
It's interesting because I was watching Bitcoin last night. I was watching the betting markets as well. When Trump got to 90%, it was just
everybody's up in the middle of the night checking Bitcoin.
This was just before 11 o'clock.
2 a.m.
Anthony, I said to myself, you know what? Sleep is more important than waiting for him to win. Yeah. I'll find out in the morning. But ultimately, we're looking at an equity market right now that is going gangbusters on this notion, maybe regulation for crypto, Kevin, but not for a lot of other industries. Pull back on regulation, lower corporate taxes. Donald Trump is seen as a pro-business president who's going to bring CEOs into the fold who are going to help him manage as well. And you've got a Dow, Taylor, to your dismay, that I'm speaking about the Dow, that's up 1,400 points right now.
Yeah. I think, first of all, you got to remember, you're putting a pro-business, pro-investor, pro-capitalism candidate in the White House. That's good for business. That's good for investors. So I think that they're getting long. But more importantly, is there's a vibe shift. And so not only are they getting long, they're also getting loud. And you can feel people saying, hey, wait a second, I was a little uncertain going into the election what was going to happen. Now that it's such a decisive victory, he's going to go into the White House. I need to be fully exposed to this market. We're going much higher. You're doing that at the same time that you've got the Fed cutting interest rates and M2 money supply growing. And so I think that that'll be very good for risk assets in general. Another area that people are not talking about yet, which I think plays into some of the deregulation, is Trump has run on a deregulation in the energy sector. And so one of the areas that I'm really paying attention to is the intersection of these new technologies, AI, crypto, et cetera, with these kind of more modern energy infrastructure companies. So there's a company in Canada, Hut8, that I'm an advisor with. They're an energy infrastructure provider to the new industries. And so you get kind of deregulation on energy, but then you get these new energy consumers. And so anywhere where you can find the modern industries intersecting with these kind of more traditional businesses, I think you're going to see a huge kind of capital flow because people realize that they want some of the new riskier stuff, but they also still want the fundamentals of a business with hard assets, et cetera.
All right, so let me talk and kind of marry this together because we just got the news on Michigan, okay, and it was breaking toward Trump. We've now confirmed it's in his category. That's a big deal that Trump wins Michigan. Heart of the auto industry, heart of the union fights this year. Kevin, what does that tell you?
So the unions endorsed Harris. However, the membership voted for Trump is what happened. Because even though he doesn't want to mandate electric cars, this is good for just the industry as it stands because now they'll allow people to make choice between combustion and electric. And it won't put so much pressure for these for car companies like Ford, which is just, that stock has been dead in the water for years as a result of losing so much money on electric cars. Now they can say, wait, we'll build what people want because Trump wants competition in the market. We love that. This Hut8 company I'm well aware of, and it's an interesting thing he brought up because Pomp is right. The challenge we have now is we need power for the Hut8s of the world. They provide the data centers we don't have any power for, and now with Trump we'll get the power. It's not just drill, baby, drill on oil. It's gas, baby, gas, because we can get the turbines to turn it into electricity.
I think we're getting too much agreement between these two.
I know,
right
no,
now.
He's a very bad guy.
Right.
He's a very bad guy. He's a very bad guy.
Can I just say this? I think actually pulling off regulation and subsidies from the green space is going to spur innovation in that space. We'll get more of it under Trump because he's a lighter touch guy.
I do want to talk about that green space. Both of you gentlemen speak in ROI, return on investment. Elon Musk smart billionaire entrepreneur, invests $150 million in Pennsylvania. Up today, $15 billion in net worth because of Tesla. Right. If that isn't a great ROI, I don't know what is. How do you think, though, about Tesla, Elon Musk, EV, a future at the White House? All of those things as market participants, Tesla shareholders are sort of ruminating with today.
The genius of Elon Musk is not going out saying that he's a green entrepreneur. He's not going out saying he's doing social impact. He's simply saying, I'm going to build a better product or service, and I'm going to come deliver it to you at a cheaper cost, and therefore the market adopts it. And so that's why most electric vehicles failed before. He showed up and said, I got a cool one that's affordable, that works. And so if you think about what the American people have done is they have handed a decisive victory and really a mandate to Donald Trump to go to the White House, bring inflation down, make housing more affordable, secure the border, don't engage in more wars, and make me have some sort of economic opportunity that I don't feel like I have right now. Now, the reason why that's really important is because people like Elon Musk provide those services. It's a deflationary type technology. It's going to help bring down costs. It's going to put this in the hands of people. And so artificial intelligence being another area that people are saying, hey, is this real? Is this not real? There's money going into the stocks. But what about for me individually? If all of a sudden artificial intelligence does fulfill the promise, which I think it will unlock a lot of time for the average person, both productivity at work, but also in their personal lives. And so when that occurs, now you have people who have time, they have tools, and you have the economy in a place where it's stronger. That is going to be a massive production gain for America. And I think that we're on the precipice of this economic explosion under a Trump presidency.
Before, Anthony, you mentioned energy, and I think it's really important to think about how the voters spoke yesterday. They spoke out on behalf of their interests. Kevin, 70% of those in our voter analysis said economy was their number one issue. Input costs are impacted by oil prices. In Pennsylvania, where we saw the massive swing that basically, pushed Donald Trump forward. Ultimately, people spoke on the issue of fracking. I was there yesterday. It matters to them. It's a huge part of their economy. So you're not seeing a huge move in the oil price today, but he's massively going to open things up and get it going.
We're on the cusp of an energy crisis in America, specifically on electricity. If you go to any power authority, I don't care if it's West Virginia or North Dakota, South Dakota, and ask them for 100 megawatts of just power, they can't give it to you. So what Trump is doing here is going to be lowering the input costs for all 11 sectors of the economy by getting the power down. Not just oil or gasoline, it's also electricity we need. And so when I look at opportunity for investors, and one of the reasons I'm getting on an aircraft tonight and flying to Riyadh and Abu Dhabi and Geneva, we now have a pro-power sector. And so we have to build power generation. That's billions of dollars, and I'm the man to do that. I'm hot to trot. I'm getting on the plane.
Hot to trot.
All right.
I like it.
A last one for you guys. Let's see if you disagree or not on this one. Trump in, I think that might mean Lena Khan at the FTC is out. Should she be out, Anthony?
I think that entrepreneurism in America is the driving force. We have seen entrepreneurs build this country forever, and the less that the government is involved in having their hand in that, the better. And so, yes, there are people who are concerned about monopolies, et cetera. But the fact that you can't point to a single business in America that doesn't have competition. And so whenever you see that, you can say you may not like how much competition they have, but there is still competition. And we can sit and we can complain about all kinds of different products, services, companies, et cetera. Right. But America was built on competition. Stop complaining and start competing. And I think that's really where we've got to get our
You with them on that one?
Regarding her specifically, I say innovation, not regulation. And so I'd like to thank her for her service and get her a new exciting job somewhere else.
Okay, I think we can end on that one. I like that.